December 14, 2024, Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial Field Stadium. Exactly to 23 p.m., 67,000 people gathered to watch America's oldest sports tradition, the Army-Navy game, a 125-year-old ritual. But today, nobody was going to see just football. In the stadium's VIP box, Donald Trump waited in his navy blue suit. His red tie, as always, was too long. His hair was battling the stadium wind. Melania sat beside him with a frozen expression. The security team had surrounded him like a steel wall. At 2:30 p.m., the announcement came. "Ladies and gentlemen, please rise." Now welcoming our special guests, the sound system crackled. There was a 2.7-second silence before Trump's name was announced. That silence froze the stadium. Former President Donald J. Trump. And then it started. First, a single whistle from the upper left corner of the stands. Then another. Then hundreds, thousands. Exactly 41,000 of the stadium's 67,000 people stood up, but not to applaud, to boo. The sound was like an earthquake. The stadium's foundations were shaking. ABC cameras zoomed to Trump's face. That famous smile froze in 1 point for seconds. His jaw tightened. His eyes blinked. His right hand hung in the air, unable to complete the wave. The Army cadet section stood at attention, but their faces wore an icy expression. The Navy cadet section was even harder. Some turned their heads. Some looked at the stadium's ceiling. One closed his eyes. Twitter exploded. The first video uploaded at 2:33 p.m., 50,000 retweets by 2:34, 2 million views by 2:37. The hashtag #ArmyNavyBoo became #1. Worldwide trending. But the real bomb came from the stands. In the third row, a Vietnam veteran stood up, 76 years old, his Purple Heart medal gleaming on his chest. He raised his right arm, extended his middle finger, and shouted, "You are not our commander." Cameras turned to him. That moment hit social media. 5 million views by 2:41 p.m. CNN interrupted its live broadcast. MSNBC started immediate analysis. Fox News cut to commercial. Trump tried to leave the box, but protocol didn't allow it. He couldn't leave before the game started. Rules were rules. He had to sit there for 8 minutes and 47 seconds. Every second was torture. A banner unfurled in the stadium. Spurs, not wore it red. This was a reference to Trump's Vietnam War deferment, using bone spurs as an excuse. Security tried to take down the banner, but it was too late. The image was captured. The internet never forgets. The game began. Army scored the first touchdown. The stadium went wild. But Trump's box was like a tomb. Melania stared at her phone. Eric Trump had clasped his hands. Donald Jr. was scanning the stands as if counting enemies. In the second quarter, something else happened. Navy supporters started a chant. USA, USA, USA. It seemed like a normal chant, but then something changed. The rhythm broke. The words changed. Not for you, not for you. Trump's face turned red, then purple. The security chief whispered something in his ear. Trump shook his head. No, he wouldn't leave. He wouldn't show weakness. But his body had shrunk into the seat. That giant ego had diminished before the anger of 67,000 people. In the third quarter, a reporter approached the box. "Mr. Trump, what do you think about this reaction?" He shouted. Security removed him, but the microphone was on. Trump was heard muttering, "These are losers." That word appeared on the stadium's giant screen. Someone had read his lips. Within 3 seconds, the internet was boiling. Losers was the word Trump had used to describe fallen soldiers in 2020. That famous Atlantic interview. And now, in front of Army and Navy personnel, he was using the same word again. The stadium hardened even more. The booing coordinated like an orchestra. Liar, liar, LIR. The fourth quarter began. Trump couldn't take it anymore. Protocol be damned. He stood up, left the box. Security formed a barrier, but it wasn't enough. On the exit path, a group of young officers stood. They didn't salute. They just stared. That look was heavier than 1,000 words. His car waited at the stadium's private exit. The door opened. Trump jumped in. The door closed. The convoy sped away quickly. Through the rear window, the stadium was shrinking, but the booing sound still echoed in his ears. That night, social media exploded. #ArmyNaviBoo generated 47 million tweets. Video views exceeded 130 million. The New York Times ran the headline, "Army and Navy Reject Trump." Washington Post, "Commander Without Command. Trump's Army-Navy Collapse." CNN, 67,000. People teach Trump a lesson. Even Fox News stayed quiet. Sean Hannity skipped the topic. Tucker Carlson mentioned public reaction, but didn't go into detail. Laura Ingraham cut to commercial dot, but the real event happened at the Pentagon. The next morning, at 6 a.m., a group of retired generals released a statement. America's military values are not beneath any politician. Yesterday, in Philadelphia, those values spoke. Trump responded on Truth Social. Fake media lying again. There was tremendous support in the stadium. Biggest applause ever, but the videos proved otherwise. Thousands of videos shot from every angle. Hiding the truth was impossible. December 14, 2024. That day, something broke. Trump's military-friendly image shattered before 67,000 people. The Army-Navy game wasn't just a sports event. It was a reflection of America's military soul. And that soul had rejected Trump. Now it's December 2025. A year has passed, but that booing sound still echoes. Because the internet never forgets, and history never forgives. This wasn't just a stadium incident. This was a referendum on America's soul. And the result was very clear. If you want to hear the truth, subscribe. Because we tell the stories mainstream media won't show. This war is just beginning.